Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the depths of human history to uncover the 10 most tragic events that have shaped our world. These events, though often difficult to revisit, hold invaluable lessons for mankind. The year is 1346. A darkness is spreading across Asia, carried on the back of unsuspecting fleas, themselves passengers on rats following the well-trodden paths of trade. This is no ordinary pestilence. This is the Black Death, a ruthless predator with an unquenchable thirst for human life. From the bustling cities of Italy to the rural villages of England, the Black Death spared no one. Imagine, if you will, entire families wiped out, their homes left eerily silent, their stories forever lost. The stench of death permeated the air, a constant reminder of the invisible enemy stalking the land. The plague's impact on medieval society was profound. The very fabric of life was torn asunder. The Black Death, though a horrific chapter in our history, serves as a testament to the tenacity of humankind. For over 4 centuries, the Atlantic Ocean bore witness to an unparalleled tragedy: the forced migration of millions of Africans, stolen from their homeland and thrust into the abyss of slavery. This wasn't just the trade of goods, it was the trade of human beings, treated as mere commodities. Imagine the terror of being ripped from your family, the anguish of a forced march to the coast, the despair of being crammed into the hold of a ship, the stench of disease and death a constant companion. This was the Middle Passage, a journey of unimaginable cruelty. Those who survived the horrors of the journey arrived in a new world, not as explorers or settlers, but as chattel, stripped of their freedom, their dignity, their very identities. The legacy of the slave trade continues to cast a long shadow over the world today. The year 1914. A continent poised on the brink of disaster. What began as a localized conflict in the Balkans quickly spiraled into a global conflagration, engulfing nations in the throes of what was then unimaginable: total war. Gone were the days of romantic notions of battle. This was a new kind of war, a mechanized monster fueled by industrial might. Machine guns chattered relentlessly, mowing down soldiers by the thousands. Tanks, those steel behemoths, rumbled across the scarred landscape, crushing all in their path. And in the trenches, a silent killer lurked. Poison gas, an insidious foe that left its victims gasping for air, their lungs scorched, their bodies racked with pain. World War I left an indelible scar on the psyche of a generation. In the heart of Europe, amidst the chaos of World War II, a darkness descended unlike any other: the Holocaust. Fueled by a toxic ideology of hate, Nazi Germany embarked on a systematic campaign to exterminate an entire people, the Jews. This was not war as we knew it, but something far more sinister: genocide. Jews, deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime, were stripped of their rights, their property, their very humanity. Families were torn apart, herded into ghettos, and eventually transported to concentration camps, places of unimaginable horror. The names of these camps, Auschwitz, Treblinka, Sobibor, became synonymous with cruelty and barbarity. Within their barbed wire fences, human beings were reduced to numbers, subjected to forced labor, starvation, and ultimately, extermination in the gas chambers. The Holocaust stands as a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. August 6, 1945. The world watched in horror as a blinding flash illuminated the sky above Hiroshima, Japan. In a fraction of a second, the world entered the atomic age, and with it, a new era of unimaginable destruction. The bomb, a weapon of unprecedented power, obliterated everything within a vast radius. Buildings crumbled to dust, their shadows seared into the ground. Thousands perished instantly, vaporized by the unimaginable heat. Those who survived the initial blast faced a slow and agonizing death from radiation sickness. The bombings ushered in an era of nuclear anxiety, a constant fear that humanity had developed the means to destroy itself. The year is 1947. After centuries of British rule, India, the jewel in the crown of the empire, is finally granted its independence. But the road to freedom is paved with bloodshed. The Indian subcontinent is being torn apart, divided along religious lines. What was once a tapestry of cultures and religions is now fractured, cleaved into two nations, India and Pakistan. Millions find themselves on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders, their homes, their lives, upended in a chaotic and violent upheaval. Imagine the terror of families fleeing their homes, desperate to escape the escalating violence. Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs, once neighbors and friends, now turn on each other, fueled by fear and mistrust. The partition triggers one of the largest mass migrations in human history. In the heart of Southeast Asia, a nation once known for its ancient temples and vibrant culture is plunged into an abyss of unimaginable horror. The Khmer Rouge, a brutal regime led by Pol Pot, seizes power in Cambodia, determined to reshape the nation according to their twisted ideology. Their goal? To create an agrarian utopia through forced collectivization and the eradication of all traces of Western influence. Cities are emptied, intellectuals and professionals are targeted, and anyone deemed an enemy of the revolution is brutally eliminated. Cambodia is transformed into a vast prison camp. Families are torn apart, children are forced to betray their parents, and the very fabric of Cambodian society is ripped to shreds. The killing fields, those haunting landscapes dotted with mass graves, stand as a chilling testament to the regime's brutality. In the heart of Africa, a landlocked nation known for its rolling hills and vibrant culture is about to descend into the abyss of genocide. Long-standing ethnic tensions between the Hutu and Tutsi communities, fueled by political manipulation and hate propaganda, explode into unimaginable violence. In a span of just 100 days, an estimated 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus are systematically slaughtered in a frenzy of violence that shocks the world. Neighbors turn on neighbors, friends betray friends, and even families are torn apart as the killing spreads like wildfire. Machetes, clubs, and guns become the tools of genocide, their victims hacked to death, shot, or bludgeoned in a horrific display of barbarity. The international community, paralyzed by inaction and political maneuvering, fails to intervene in any meaningful way. September 11, 2001. A date forever seared into the collective memory of the world. On this day, the skies above New York City, a symbol of American power and prosperity, were pierced by the unimaginable. Terrorists, driven by a twisted ideology of hate, hijacked 4 commercial airliners, turning them into missiles aimed at the heart of America. At 8:46 a.m., the first plane slammed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center, a fiery inferno engulfing the upper floors. As smoke billowed from the wounded skyscraper, the world watched in disbelief, the horrifying reality of the situation slowly sinking in. Then, at 9:03 a.m., a second plane, this one aimed at the South Tower, struck with bone-jarring force. The towers, once symbols of American ingenuity, now stood as towering infernos, their fate sealed. The 9/11 attacks fundamentally changed the world. In the early days of 2020, a new threat emerged, a silent and invisible enemy that would soon grip the entire world in its clutches, the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a cluster of cases in Wuhan, China, quickly spread across the globe, carried by the very air we breathe. The virus, a novel coronavirus, spread with alarming speed, its tendrils reaching every corner of the planet. Hospitals, overwhelmed by the influx of patients struggling to breathe, became battlegrounds in the fight against this unseen enemy. The world watched in disbelief as the death toll mounted, the numbers ticking ever upwards, a grim reminder of the pandemic's relentless march. Lockdowns, once unthinkable, became the new normal. The pandemic exposed the fragility of our interconnected world. These tragic events, spanning centuries and continents, serve as somber reminders of the challenges humanity has faced and the resilience of the human spirit. By understanding our past, by learning from the mistakes and the triumphs of those who came before us, we can strive to build a better future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for